Well, hey there, internet user. So you've decided to join one of the world's largest growing fan bases? Has your love for Sonic the Hedgehog finally exceeded that of your own friends and family? Can you no longer stand being the only person you know that thinks Shadow the Hedgehog was a masterpiece? Are you just secretly a furry? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then you've come to the right place. You've just made what is quite possibly the best decision of your preteen life. However, before you get started on this rich, new, fulfilling lifestyle, this instructional video will help prepare you for the hurdles you'll have to jump along the way. There's no reason to be nervous. Just follow everything I say to a T, and I guarantee you'll be on your way to becoming one of the world's greatest Sonic fans. Part 1. Drawing Fan Art. One of the most common kinds of fan works is fan art. What better way is there to appreciate the glory of our favorite characters than to draw them in our own styles to express how much they mean to us? The only thing you'll need for this step is a computer and a mouse. And on your computer, I'm about to introduce you to the Sonic fan's best friend in the whole wide world: Paint. With the help of this bad boy here, you're going to be creating some of Deviantart's hottest new illustrations. First, let's start with something basic, like drawing Sonic. Create an outline, fill in the colors, and give it that little extra oomph by adding a background. And if you're really feeling the spark of creativity today, add a nice bit of text on the side. Congratulations! After a whole 2 minutes of work, your drawing is already prepared to hold its own in the big leagues of the art world. Be sure to tell others and yourself that it painstakingly took you hours to make sure your art was the absolute best it could be. Now that you've gotten a taste of drawing fan art, it's time to take things to the next level with creating your own original character. Remember, when designing your own Sonic character, it's important to heavily base it off of a pre-existing character so it fits in with the franchise's art style. And by that, I mean pick a character, change their color, add a cool accessory, and BAM! We've just created the next best thing since the Blue Blur himself. Now all that's left to do is to give your character a name. How about Rex the Hedgehog? He's Sonic's second cousin that recently got out of prison for armed robbery. He's a rough and tough dude that doesn't play by anybody's rules, and he also has the power to shoot fireballs out of his elbows. But wait just a minute. Is the thought of designing your own character from scratch too intimidating for you? Maybe you think that you'll never be able to produce anything as amazing as this. Well, don't you worry. Nowadays, you can design fan characters without having to draw a single line. How, you ask? Well, it's easy. First, go to Google and borrow some official art or screenshot. Put that baby into Paint and get your fill tool ready. With the use of a single color, Sonic the Hedgehog has just become our own original creation, Terrence the Hedgehog. This trick also works with other characters as well. Shadow the Hedgehog, more like Phil the Hedgehog. Ha 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 ha. Copyright 2015, do not steal. Now that you've assembled an all-star cast, it's time to move on to the next most important step of being a Sonic fan. Part 2. Writing fan fiction. Sometimes just drawing fan art isn't enough. A creative mind like yours will always be overflowing with ideas, so it's very necessary to share as much of it with the world as possible, whether the world likes it or not. When writing, it's important to brainstorm some ideas for twists and how the characters will develop over the course of the story. But if you can't think of anything, just copy the plot of the last anime you watched, replacing all of the characters with Sonic ones, in addition to your OCs. But hey, just because you're plagiarizing, I mean borrowing ideas, doesn't mean that you can't add your own little spin on things. Here's a few examples of what most other Sonic fans include in their own fanfics. Shipping. Because everyone is dying to know what characters you want to date each other. Little to no personalities. You don't have time to be writing interesting characters, it's a school night. Including your own obscure fetishes. Because the next time someone Googles Sonic gets Shadow pregnant, your story will be guaranteed to be at the top of the search results. Keeping these tips in mind will make you more than capable of writing an amazing fanfic. But more than likely, you'll probably just write like 1 or 2 chapters, get bored, and never update it again. But that's okay, you're a Sonic fan, and the only commitment a Sonic fan has to make is to play more Sonic games. And now, let's move on to the final part of our tutorial. Part 3. Dealing with haters. It is unfortunate, but there will come a time for every Sonic fan when they will be faced with the negativity of others. This will most commonly be seen in the comments of your fan art and fiction. Terrible people leaving terrible messages. Trolls, flamers, haters, all of them! Who do they think they are? Who do they think they're talking to? How dare they insinuate that your work is anything less than perfection? After all, you're a Sonic fan, and Sonic fans don't make mistakes. They make masterpieces. Just because Sega has yet to respond to any of the hundreds of job applications you've sent them doesn't give them the right to look down on you. Remember, the only comments you should ever listen to are the ones that tell you how awesome your creations are. The more your ass is kissed, the less you'll feel like trying to change anything about your methods. And since they're already perfect, that is exactly what you should want. But besides these cowardly personal attacks, you may come across others who will criticize the games of the Blue Hedgehog himself. As a fan, it is your sworn duty to tell these people that they are idiots, no matter what they think. How dare they do something as disgusting as want a finished and functional product? Don't they see who's on the cover? Like you, they should just learn to deal with the countless glitches, long loading times, and bestiality that Sega has included. And that does it for this video. Now that you've received all the necessary instructions, you're set to live out the rest of your days providing the world with high-quality Sonic fanworks. Never accepting criticism, never improving, never being original, never moving out of your mom's basement, never accomplishing anything. No, but seriously, stop stealing other people's work and calling it your own.